Home, brought to you by Remax Diamond Realty.
All right, everybody, we have been telling you over the past few weeks how you can actually buy a home, but we want to do something different tonight, and Liz Duenas is here. We are going to explore the topic of, Liz, what happens if someone buys a home, either an individual or a family, and then for whatever reason a situation comes up, and maybe like within a year or within the short term, they have to sell it. They might get a big job, they might join the military, they might do something like that, they may have to relocate for whatever reason. And they don't really have as much equity as they normally would have had long term, and they really need to sell it. How often do you see that, and what can be done?
It actually happens quite a bit. We've had a number of corporate individuals who found the home that they, loved, moved in, and then found out that they were being relocated to another corporate location. So, of course, it was disheartening that they got settled, spent all the time looking for the home, but, we would advise them, hey, this is what we could do. We could place the house on the market for rent as well as placing it for sale. So it just depends on the individual, what they're looking at. But we would do both of that at the same time and then see what goes first. Because what happens is if we can rent it and get a good rental income for them that pays the mortgage, it buys them the time to give room for appreciation in market value. And it just, at least it pays for the mortgage. And then over time, sometimes they change their mind. They don't want to sell it at least for the next 3 years.
Or they might get a temporary detail, like say if they're in the military or they're a federal contractor and they'll be away for a couple of years and they're like, I always want to come back to Guam because this is my home.
That's right.
But I just dropped money on a home. And so
That's
what
right.
I want to know is, so you do advise that people possibly rent it out as opposed to like selling it? Because what I'm thinking is if I just bought a home, even though I haven't really depreciated it that much, so the home is still pretty much like in almost brand new condition, you would hope.
Right.
Am I still going to take a significant financial hit?
You would, because
if
you left and it depends, again, everyone's different. They might need to sell because what they want to do is take the money and transfer it to their new location. And if the market isn't, if it's at the same value right at that point, they would stand to lose because they've already put in escrow monies, they've put in their down payment, they've put in improvements, so they've done a number of things to the home. So best thing to do is get it rented until time is right, and then they can sell it.
What's the turnaround time typically for that? Like if I found out that I was going to go work for Netflix or something like that, and then I was like, hey, I'm out of here in a month. I just bought a home and everything. I'm paying the mortgage on that and everything. Can I give it to you to list and everything like that? How soon could we actually turn it around and I'd have a tenant?
Well, we would, of course, take it, put it on the market. We could probably turn it within, let's say, a 3-month window. Everything is critical to pricing and where the house is located and its marketability. So we could probably turn it around within a window. It's pricing. If it's priced right, but with our market, with military tenants, more than likely, if it's a good home, it'll be easy to rent. So normally our 3 markets for rental would be our corporate, our military, and then of course, actually 4, corporate, military, Section 8, and then your local market.
Now, there are people like me who don't necessarily want to work the profit margin and everything like that. But like you said, I mean, I may have put tens of thousands of dollars into the escrow, the closing cost, improvements and everything like that. If I'm leaving the island for an undisclosed amount of time and everything, I just want to break even. I just want to make sure I don't take a loss and everything like that. Can I at least make sure that if I sell the home right away, that at least I cover my bases and I'm not losing money?
Yes, we could do that. I mean, we put it on the market, we put it for sale, but then just remember when you put it on the market, you're subject to paying extra fees on top of that, like the agent commissions, any fees associated with placing it on the market. But again, if it's priced right, it won't be a problem to move it, especially in our market today.
How often do you see people try and do this all on their own? Because of course, the smart move is to go with a licensed professional like yourself. But what if people say, I want to be a one-man band and I want to, try and do it all.
There are people, they refer to them as for sale by owners. They're called FSBOs. There are people out there who work on doing it, but the problem is it's difficult, especially when you're working, you're trying to get everything tied up. Let the professionals do the work for you. Let a realtor handle the dirty work in getting your property rented, because they know the ins and outs, they know the paperwork involved, and they know the process. So that's what a realtor is for.
And that's even harder if, say, like if you did get relocated or transferred, so you won't have to keep going back and forth between Guam and, you know.
That's right. And in fact, working with a realtor, they could assist you in your relocation. They could contact another agent wherever you're going and do a referral. They would do all the research finding out which realtor would serve you within that immediate area you're relocating to.
Okay, before we go to commercial, just a real quick question since we're talking about it. How often do you actually see people from off-island being landlords? I've known several. I just didn't know like how widespread of a practice
Actually,
that is.
we have people from all over in our property management division. So
I know somebody in Wisconsin and they own like, you know, apartments. They own apartments here and they rent them out, but they, you know, they live on the other side of the planet.
they do. We do have people from all over the world, actually.
So in that case, you would just say, I'm the landlord, I have a tenant, but I'm going to have a property manager who's
You'll have a
who's
assigned a
local.
property manager that's local who take care of the property, and then they will report to you every month.
Oh, maybe we can talk about property managers next week because that's a fascinating
we could
subject
do
too.
that.
It's a really good way to make money too, I would think.
And by the way, happy anniversary, KUAM 60th.
Well, thank you very much.
Just wanted to put that in there.
Well, and we appreciate for you and Gina and you fine folks at RE/MAX being part of our family for the last 4 years with this segment. So it's been fun.
Well, we definitely have a lot of fun.
All right. We're going to do another on location segment. Those are always a lot of fun.
Yes,
Speaking of, with
exactly.
the parrot again.
That's right. The other parrot.
The other parrot, yeah,
Yes,
the red one. All right,
yes.
we'll see then. All right, we will see you on the flip side of this break.